and my name is Jordan Oveas. I'm the founder of dayNumber.io, or dayNumber itself, and I've been documenting uh, and my journey publicly here on YouTube for the last 329 days, and over the last 158 days, I think, on dayNumber. And yeah, typically what I talk about is what happened the day before, and what's happening today, basically. So yeah, yesterday, actually didn't really get much done. I was working on some personal stuff in the morning, and then after went to go see a friend who I haven't seen since fourth grade, which was 26 years ago. Back in 2000, which is crazy. And crazy thing is how I reconnected with him was my mom was looking to got referred to somebody for like a babysitting job, um, like a full-time babysitting job for a 2-year-old. And so when they went to go meet the person who needed the babysitting, they said, hey, yeah, like I don't know, somehow they got talking into where they went to school. And then my mom was like, oh, my son went to that school, and his name is Jordan. And he's like, I'm sure there's only one person. And then my mom called me while I was working, and he's like, hey, I have a long lost friend here, went to St. Timothy. And then he went on the camera, and I'm like, I instantly knew who it was, and I was like, I said his name, and he's like, oh. It's like, whoa, like, it's crazy how you can recall that, because for me, I have very vague memories of like elementary, and like very vague, right? I don't have like, I just remember, and I do remember like certain times with him, but nothing truly specific, you know. I don't remember. Yeah, so that's why it's interesting. I just remember his face distinctly, but I didn't know that like I was one of his like closest friends there, or he was one of my closest friends growing up. Um, who I do remember growing up is like mostly people who I'd spent a lot of time with, mostly like I mean, there are some other memories, obviously, like in school that like stuck out to me. Like the first time I ever swore, I remember that when I first like I swore, I was like, oh my gosh, I felt like so bad. But yeah, it's crazy. 26 years. So got to see him yesterday. His family, his daughter, my whole family was there. My mom, dad, brother and sisters, their kids. It's like, what the heck, So really cool. But yeah, today, Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there who's a father. If anybody's here watching a father, keep going, And the reason why I labeled this, you're on the brink of something big, is that, right now I currently have about an average 5 founders who are logging daily on dayNumber, the platform that I built. And yeah, to me, it's like, oh man, there's only 5 people. I need a lot more people to raise money for like my fund that I'm creating. And then I just remembered this morning that, Y Combinator started with 8 founders. Okay, 8 founders, right? And they were writing like small checks back then, right? Like 10, 15, 25,000, stuff like that, They just wanted to see like if they could really like make this work, where they can find, the next unicorn founders, right? So I'm not too far off, actually. I'm not too far off from like YC. Like, what if there is, one founder in there that becomes a unicorn company, right? You don't know, right? So you never want to discount the little success that you have, or what looks little, right? Because that can turn into, something great, or you're just on the brink of something, great that's about to happen, right? So, I would advise, keep going, and, harness and celebrate the people that are already using your product, right? Or whatever service it is that you have, whether it's one person that you're servicing, or 100 or 1,000,000, you want them to feel that, okay, like, the best experience for using your product or service, whatever it is. So that's the key thing, is you want to harness those people, harness the people, like serve the people like your first customers, like as if like, yeah, and every customer, anybody that you meet, actually, right? Treat others the way you want to be treated. At the end of the day, give as you'd like to receive. So wouldn't you want to have like a 10-star experience, right? When they're using your product or service, you know, what would that look like? I heard that from Brian Chesky. Mustafa Khan says, "Hi, hey, how's it going? Welcome, welcome." Here with the Maxi boy. You guys see? Beautiful day out, clear skies. Yesterday was like overcast. Now it's like clear. Julian says hi. Jason River Fuentes says hi. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone. I'm with my boy Max. Doing his thing. Sahara Setum says hi. Hey, welcome, welcome. Just give me a second, guys. Oh, yeah, it is a beautiful day. Where are you guys all coming in from today? Where's everyone tuning in from today? Julian says, I love your dog. Mr. Extra says, Labrador Retriever. Yes, yes. Where's everyone tuning in from today? On this Sunday, happy Father's Day, guys. Everyone celebrating Father's Day, or everybody has a father. Whether they're still alive or not, or they're around or not. So, yeah, I was just thinking yesterday, like even when I saw, my dad, I was like, man, he did a lot, It's really cool to see, the story behind how you got to where you got to in this moment, right? Every single, Julian says, no, not me. Actually, no, mine is a golden retriever. Sorry, not a Labrador retriever. It's a golden retriever. Hold on one second. Any of you guys have pets here? Yeah. Yeah, so I think, hey, Jason River Fuentes says hi. Yeah, so I think the key is you want to, harness the people that, sorry, I was saying about my dad. I forgot about that. Yeah, it was like, you gotta, like, I just realized, like, what he had. I don't even know the full story of, like, what he had to go through to, bring us here or not bring us. He brought himself and his siblings from Philippines to Canada, right? And how I think he didn't even finish high school because he wanted to work, or he wanted to support his family, right? So there's so many different turns of events that that happen in life, where you wonder why certain things happen, or why they're happening. But I think there's a greater purpose behind all of it, so you just appreciate everything along the way. Julian, 3,900, my dad left me. Hey, sorry to hear that, and that's the case for many people. Find those father figures in your life. Maybe there are people like that, in your life. And maybe they show up in that way for you too. I was just reading Steve Jobs' not autobiography, it's a biography. And I'm on chapter 4 now. It's like on my phone, it's like a 900-page book or something. Something like 90, so 10% of the way there. He was an orphan. And his parents, they had to put Steve up for adoption because I forgot the main reason. I have to look back, but I know it just didn't like line up with their family or something like that, or something about like the families didn't agree with it or something like that, because one family was like an Orthodox, like Catholic type of family, and then another one was like a Muslim type of family. So Julian says I sub. Jason Rivers Fuentes says same. Thank you guys. Thank you. Really appreciate it. I go live every day. But yeah, his father that brought him up, that adopted him, his name is Paul Jobs, I think. Paul Jobs? Yeah. yeah, he said that was that was his dad. Like he's like that was 100,000%. Like, he was my dad, right? So whoever it is in your life that you could see as a father figure, right? That's also something to celebrate as well, right? And then you could also be that, so. But yeah, I was just thinking, like, man, there's a lot that our parents had to do in general to bring us to where we are right now, right? We don't realize what they went through, and maybe they didn't even think about the sacrifice. They just kind of went along with the flow of life, right? They made some decisions, but it all brought you to here in this moment, right? So that's why it's nice to appreciate, like, how lucky we all are. The fact that you can watch a live stream from your phone, you have the time to watch it. You have the time. I have the time to be on a live stream myself, to walk a dog, in a neighborhood where it's fairly mostly safe. We're not struck by war or, very crime inflated areas. Like, it's great. We just got to be thankful. And no matter where we are, I mean, here's the thing. It's like, if let's say I live in the safest, nicest, like, place, there's another person in this world that lives in the most dangerous, part of the world. Would I trade places with them? Absolutely not. But there's some people that are in that state that say they wouldn't want to be anywhere else because of maybe family, culturally, they're used to it, or they're scared to leave. There's many reasons. And I think, for us to judge whether something's good or bad, obviously, yeah, objectively, there's things that seem like, okay, yeah, hurting somebody is bad, right? That's not what we want to do, but I don't think intentionally, like, it starts off that way. We're all born with, like, I think, a clean slate in our mind, and I don't think we intentionally want to hurt people, I think even with Steve Jobs, he had this personality of, like, somebody who really was curious, like, energetic kid, also was very brash at times, and then the funny thing is he sought, like, Zen Buddhism and spirituality, like, that side, but then he was also very, like harsh with people too, and it's like, where did that come from, right? Was it something that he intended to do or be or whatever? I think life just happens, and it's not like we can't take responsibility, but when we accept and allow things in our life to just be, we're able to be present and be thankful for what is. So yeah, I think that's where I'm moving towards, guys. Where are you guys moving? Where are you guys at right now? Umrilia says hi. Umrilia says, I'm from India. Welcome. It's awesome. Cesar Castano, hey, what's up? Welcome back. Donald, one Trump. God bless America, brother. Hey, I hear you. God bless America and every place in the world, like Chris Rock said. Or I don't know if that's what he said, but it was in the movie. I think he was running for president or something. Max, you gonna play now? Yeah, we're gonna walk through here. Come on, Max, let's go. Oldenburger says, you're my favorite Chinese streamer. Nah, I wish. There's probably many Chinese streamers out there that are, like, I don't know, man. They do some crazy shit. But I'm Filipino and I'm Canadian. So yeah. But yeah, man, where you from, man? Where you from? Oh, I've never been to China. I'd love to go. I'd love to go to China, actually. I'd love to go. I mean, this is such a small planet in the grand scheme of the universe. We should be able to explore it while we're still here on Earth. You know, why not? Oh, Oldenburger. Oh, sorry, I'm Turkish from Germany. Okay, nice, man. Germany. I think Germany's gonna win. Germany's gonna win the World Cup. Who's winning World Cup, guys? Jason River Fuentes, you are one of my favorite streamers. Oh, thank you. Who's gonna win the World Cup, guys? Who do you think? You don't think Germany's gonna win the World Cup? No? My barber, he's going for Germany, and he's from there. France. Yeah, very. You know, I asked Claude yesterday. I built like a sports better app or a sports better, I guess. Basically, it's like a project, and you just upload MD files that have like skills that, you know, like a very serious sports better that's successful would have. And I asked, my friend wanted to know from work because I told him I made this, and he said, "Oh, ask who's gonna win the World Cup." And yeah, they said France. So we'll see. Norway is like a distant, like, Norway is another runner. Spain is another runner. I mean, everyone's a runner, but I mean, yeah, hopefully. I mean, look at Canada. Canada just won 6-0. Scissor Castano. I do have a golden retriever and a Bernie Doodle. Okay, nice. That's awesome, man. Yeah, dogs. You know, I never thought I would have a dog. But funny enough, my dad, and I see a pattern, you know. DNA definitely has a huge influence on your outcome of life. You know, so people don't believe in predestination. A lot of people believe in free will. And I think it's a combination of both. You know, maybe there's like a set path for your life. Like imagine imagine see this path here, right? This is a path. And I'm gonna go from that end to that end. And there's a certain destination there at the end. But how I experience this path as I'm walking along it is up to me. You know, I could experience it in a way where it's happy, exciting, joyful, adventurous. Whatever way that we're gonna experience it is up to you. We can choose how we're gonna, but we're gonna eventually end up at that path if I keep walking down it, right? So what I'm trying to say is that, you know, like my dad had dogs when he was younger, and yeah, he grew up in the Philippines. It's common to have like wild dogs, taking them in as pets. Most people don't really buy pets there that I know of, right? Unless maybe in this more civilized city they do it now, but I'm sure it's a business there too. But yeah, it's like, oh, okay, makes sense that I have one now, right? Because genetically speaking. But another thing too is that the environment that you're born in as well. You know, the current mindset of the current country, and what you're born in and what they're geared towards. That's why you see certain countries and people that come native from those countries and raised in it, they have a certain way of living and being. Some people say, oh, Japanese people are like, you know, the country is so advanced, right? Like, where you see certain, like you said, like you're talking about Chinese, the culture there is very strict and organized. And so, anyways, we're all humans at the end of the day. So, but yeah, there's definitely, you know, certain laws that govern certain countries and also which creates a certain mindset and ways of being in that country, you know. So it's just the way that I think life is cycling right now, and it's going through another phase now where we're all trying to become one, hopefully, and we realize that we are, and that we're all life experiencing itself in different experiences, whether it's here as a human life, like you consider this life here, this pavement, this is life too. This is made out of rock, like earth, like stuff from the earth. Our bodies are made of stardust. You know, like it's composed of the things that are from the stars. And so is all this. So is all this. So is this. So is my dog. So is this phone. Dear Mulator says, could you please say hello to Edie? Hey, hello, Edie. Mike Santos says hello. Dear Mulator says also, could you say hello to Saf? Hey, Saf. He's a very good dog. Hey, Saf, what's up? And then Mike Santos says hello. Hey, what's up? Brockman says, hey, what do you call an American bee? An American bee? A spelling bee? I don't know. Jason River Fuentes, I'm Canadian. A US broken mess. USB, nice. Nice. That's awesome. Bro, I love that one. I'm gonna use that. You probably use that on every stream that you hop on, which is good. That's a good one. So now I'm gonna use it. All right. A USB. You know the USB? That's like a Filipino accent. Hey, you know the USB? Do you have one? I have one. I have one for you. You know, 64 gigabytes. It's a very big. Broken. I'm from India. Where are you from? Canada. I'm in Canada. Max, no. See, he likes to bark at like big cars that pass by. So it's like so if he sees like a big truck, he'll go, you know, and go all crazy. I don't know why. But yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in, subscribing, liking. There's a lot of Indians there, right? And oh yeah. A lot of from all different cultures, you know. It's like a melting pot, you know. It's just like kind of like a city, a metropolis. Population of Canada, for being the second largest country in the world, is I think around 40 million. I think still very low, but not a lot of the land is habitable, you know. So even if it's the second largest landmass, doesn't mean all the landmass is habitable. So you know, you got Toronto, like the major cities, but where I'm at is definitely like the greater Toronto area, like more closer towards Niagara. Zach Atticus says, do you think that's a good idea, good thing or bad thing? Good thing or bad thing? What do you mean? Michael Norris, game over, says hi. Hey, what's up? Welcome. Thank you to everybody that tuned in, guys. What province or territory do you live in, Canada? Ontario. Yeah, we're in Hamilton, Ontario. All right, guys, I gotta go. Have a great rest of your day. Shout out to everybody here who just came in. Skit Cypher, Jason River Fuentes, Michael Norris, Brockman, who else? Mike Santos, Dear Emulator, Cesar Castano, Oldenburger. Shout out to Donald Trump, Ermola, Julian, Mr. Extro, and Mustafa, and Sarston. Thank you guys for tuning in again. Have a great rest of your day. Day number 329. I'm out.